Hey, thanks for joining us for the weekly update. As you can see, I've invited Matt because in just a few weeks, you're going to be here. You and Chris will be here for Midweek Connect.
Yeah, very excited to be with you guys.
It is going to be awesome. And I hope you're going to be able to join us because what we're going to be doing is really important. And so I've got this wording here. I've shared this before. Your story matters. God's the author of your story. He never writes boring stories or worthless stories. And believe it or not, your story may help rewrite the ending of someone else's story, which, by the way, I totally stole from you.
Yeah, when I heard you say it, I thought, that's great writing.
That
and
is
I
great
realized
writing.
I wrote that.
You did write that. So, but it's true. And I hope that's powerful enough. Listen, if that doesn't spur you on to want to know how to do this better, I don't know what will. So Midweek Connect coming up. You and Chris will be here those 3 Wednesdays in September. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're very excited to be with you guys here at MCC to do one of our favorite trainings. We've been able to do it all over the region, and it is our storytelling training. The point is we're trying to convince you, not just that stories matter, because we all sort of agree on that, but we want to convince you that you have a story and your story matters. So even if you think, man, my story's too boring or my story's too broken, like Mike said when he stole it from me, God is the author of your story, and therefore he has purpose for that story, and he wants to use it. He's worked in you. Now he wants to work through you. So we're going to come alongside you and help you mine out the raw materials of that story, organize it into chapters, and then we want to encourage you and equip you to actually go out there and share it with people in ways that aren't forced and a formula, but instead something that's very natural and authentic in a way that's really going to make a difference in people's lives.
Yeah, because we don't want this to come off weird. It's not like we're helping people be weird or anything, but there is power in story. You have had other people's story impact your own faith, and it's that ability. So I bet sometimes, is it hard for people to begin to grasp that initially, or does that come easily for people?
No, I think for the most part, people have objections. They feel like, I get that stories matter. You know, I go to the movies and stories are gripping and they engage not just my mind, but my heart. But my story isn't box office ready. Nobody's paying an admission fee to come hear my story.
I don't have the big testimony.
Yeah, but the truth is, if you dig, God has done things in your life and he wants to pull you alongside other people so that you can help them go through similar things.
Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to be here. This is going to be great. So I hope you'll be here for Midweek Connect. Listen, there's a link in the email that you can register for that. So join us. It's going to be great. I want to talk to you for a moment about this weekend. So as we begin to wrap up the letter that Paul wrote to the church in Rome, I want to compare what Paul said about that church and a church in Kentucky that my friend Charlie told me about. So the church struck oil on their property, which is really cool. And I know this may sound like I'm setting up a joke, but I promise you I'm not. So they had a congregational meeting and they passed these 3 resolutions. Number 1, they would drill for all of the oil that they could, which makes sense. Number 2, they would divide the profits that they made from selling the oil amongst everyone in the congregation, which I guess kind of makes sense as well. And 3, they would take no new members into membership. So I'm curious what your first response is to that, right? Just in case you were feeling a little pious about that decision, you took the high horse on that, the high road. I want you to hold on to that, okay? Because I don't know that we really know how we would respond if we were actually in that story. If that decision was actually laid on us, what would we have decided? Because we don't know the whole story. But I want you to hold on to your first response. As Paul wraps up this letter, he begins to wrap it up this week in chapter 15, and then we'll wrap it up actually next week in chapter 16. He reminds us of some decisions that we all make if we want to offer hope to our family and our friends and the people that we come into contact with, and for our culture, for the sake of God's kingdom. And so I hope you'll be here for this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. So whether you're with us online or on campus, I'm looking forward to sharing this.